Today I'm going to be flying with my new harness, which is a Rebellion Socks harness made by Skyline. So I thought I'd give you a quick look at it before I actually have a go. So here we go. So it comes in this nice bag. The first thing to say is it's longer than, packed up, it's longer than my previous harness, but I am told that it can pack shorter. So let's have a look inside. Now I have flown this harness just once. And so this will be my second flight on it today. So you can see it looks brand spanking pristine new. So let's get it out. Skyline, who make these harnesses, are based in Germany, and so far looking at it I'm really pleased with it. So some things to think about just looking at the harness, what its features. So first of all, we've got the parachute. So the parachute is inside here. Here's the parachute handle, and these zips here, if you deploy the parachute, all this will just open up, and there's some little bits of thread that will snap when you deploy the parachute. Now if those little bits of thread snap, if all this comes undone for some reason while you're flying, it's not an issue because the parachute is actually held in place inside with this handle, so it's only if you actually pull the handle that you can deploy it. Another nice thing to know is on the harnesses you usually get a lot of Velcro. Velcro on this part holding this in, Velcro for the bits to do it up, but this works on magnets, so it's a lot cleaner, it's a lot tidier, and I really like that feature. Now you might also notice there's quite a lot of zips on this harness. So what are all these zips? So this particular zip at the top inside is a towing attachment, and this is for towing on aerotow, and inside here we've got towing attachments for winch. So it's got the two different attachment points for aerotow and winch, really useful. We've also got a pocket down the side here, and inside this pocket there's a little hole in here and a strap thing. I'm not really sure what this pocket's designed for. Perhaps if Skyline could let me know what the thought is behind that. And then further on here we've got a further pocket here, which I've got some bits in here at the moment, but it's got a bit where you can attach your radio, so I'm assuming this is the radio pocket, and you can attach the radio so it doesn't fall out. And then we've got another bigger pocket here which goes right down inside the harness, I assume for access to inside the harness. And then another side pocket here where you can keep your phone, and I've got some bits of wire and stuff in there. So really handy in terms of the pockets. It looks really nice and cool, really nice and neat, and in terms of the actual design of it and how it looks, you can change the colour coding for however you want. So I've put the colours on here to match my glider. I didn't want it too colourful. I'm quite happy with this, and this is what I've gone for. And you've got the slider here. This harness works by gravity, so this is your slider for the for being in upright position or when you're laying down. And then let's have a look inside the harness. So looking inside the harness, first thing I'm looking at is the leg straps. Where the leg straps attach here, there are three different positions where you can attach the leg straps, which I think is really handy because you can adjust it for your height. Now I've actually tried this, and the middle leg straps, which is what it came on, worked really well for me, and we've got some nice solid buckles here for doing up the leg straps. One of the selling points for this harness is the carbon back plate. So I've unzipped it so you can see it, and the carbon back plate on this one is actually bendy. It's got this hinge in the middle, and the idea behind this is that when you are landing, it enables you to get into a more upright position than traditional solid back plates, so that it makes it a lot easier for landing. And then if we look underneath here, we can see that the slider system is on a solid metal tube, which makes it a lot better than when some harnesses. My old 10X3 has a cord here, which they can wear out, but the solid metal tube is not going to wear out, so it's a lot more secure. And I think that's about it for the harness. We've got the usual packing options that will go on top of the back plate, which I'll show you in a minute. But overall, I would say that the harness looks really neat, well made, and I know for a fact that it is made to measure. Now, some harnesses, I believe, you give them your size and they'll pick off the shelf, they'll pick whatever size closely matches you, but I know this is made to measure because while it was being constructed, they were sending me pictures showing the cutting of all the different material, and it's made to measure specifically for me. The process of getting it made, the customer support for Skyline, a guy called Max, was really helpful. I was confused with some of the measurements, and he talked me through the whole process, and he helped me with it, and then kept me updated all the way through making the harness, and I was getting sent pictures and updates of where the harness was. And it took about 6 weeks from ordering the harness to receiving the harness, which I think is not a bad turnaround, although Max does say it's going to get faster. Just one other point to note on the bottom of the harness here. Now, my old 10X3, this was all fabric, and you could change this part of it, but I did notice it would wear all the way down here. Now, this is a leather patch here, so that's going to last for quite some time. When you're running, doing your takeoff runs, it drags on the floor, and this is less likely to wear out than the old fabric patch that I had. So overall, I would say the harness looks great. The customer service that I got up to buying it has been fantastic. I can't fault it whatsoever. I was given all that support in ordering the harness, in all the bits that I needed to measure, all the bits that I needed to fill in. Was kept updated all the way through the process of it being made, and I've stayed in contact since buying the harness, and I'm sure Skyline can't wait to see what I think of it. So in a minute I'm going to rig up and we're going to have a go at flying the harness. Well, there we go. Taking off with the new harness. Let's do it up now. It does up nice and easily. So, in terms of sizing, I went for the normal fit, and I've got lots of gear on right now. It feels quite tight, but it's alright. I wouldn't go for the tight fit personally though, that would be too tight for me. But my old harness, I made it a bit too big, I think, and I used to really rattle around in it. Whereas this now, it's a nice and easy fit actually. Feels quite comfortable. And so this is my first flight off a hill in this harness. So I've been flying about 10 minutes now, sort of getting used to it a little bit, and it's really very comfortable. It's done up nicely. I can feel it sort of hugging my body all the way around. I've got quite a bit of packing in the back, but I have got a little bit of play there, definitely a little bit. I've not got it done up all the way because I've got that much gear on, I can't do it up around my waist. Perhaps I'm getting fat. Actually, sorry, I've got it done up all the way, I didn't realise. So yeah, I can get it done up, no problem. And what I'm finding is it's very easy to adjust up and down. So it's not got a bump plate in it or anything like that, it's just gravity. But when I initially took off, I was a little bit more head down than I wanted to be. And I just pushed up a little bit and it's gone up nicely and stayed in place. So it's really quite good. Let's have another go now. Now, I've gone right up now and I can feel the back of it bending. I can feel the bend in the back plate. That's really cool. Now bring back down again. No, that's so easy. That's really, it feels really comfortable. I'm a little bit higher than I want, so I'll push up a bit. Yeah, there we go. And it just stays in place really well. I like it a lot so far. Thank you, Skyline. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Wolfie. Haha. Okay, I'm ready to go and land now. So let's test out the landing characteristics of his harness. It's supposed to be really good because of the bending back plate, but let's see what it feels like. I'm going to unzip now before I even go down, just so I'm not fumbling for the zip, because it's in a different place to my old harness and finding it is an issue. Can't find it. Found it. There we go. That's me unzipped. Legs out. Well, that is a nice landing position. So I've just landed with my new harness, really pleased with it, and do you know what? I feel a lot more confident landing in that harness than I did in my old 10X. Now I did like the 10X, nothing wrong with it, great harness, and I had it for 13 years. But this harness, the getting in the landing position, it just feels so much more upright, so much easier, and I'm really pleased with it. Now you might notice that where the glider connects, where the harness connects to the glider, there's no carabiner. Normally I have a carabiner there. So on this particular harness, I ordered a harness where it attaches directly. Hang on, let me undo this. The harness attaches directly to the hang point here. The harness is attached on here, and by doing that, it reduces the drag just a little bit, apparently. I don't really know if it makes much difference, but it does mean you're clipped in every time, because you can't possibly get in it without it being clipped in. So really useful thing for me, I think. Means that you've got to get into the harness after attaching it to the glider, which is no problem. So in overall terms, in the harness comfort, yeah, it's very comfortable in the air. It's tight on my body but not overly tight, and it feels a lot sleeker than the 10X did. But the 10X is a very wide harness, and I ordered a big one, which my harness had a lot of room in it. So this has got a lot less room. It's a tighter fit, but it's still very comfortable. And like I say, I've ordered the normal fit instead of the comfort fit, instead of the loose fit. So I wanted it out a little bit tighter, especially when we're flying in the summer, when we're flying in the Alps and flying in Spain. I wanted a bit more tightness. So yeah, it feels really good. It's got a parachute down the side, and the parachute didn't feel to dig in or anything. It just felt nice. So I think that's it, unless I think of anything else to add in a minute. So that's the end of my flight today with my new harness. And you know what? I really like it. The things that I like best about the harness are, number one, the comfort. It's nice and comfortable. Number two, how easy it is to adjust your position up and down, your angle up and down when you're flying, and it stays in the position that you put it in. So that's really good. I struggled with that a little bit sometimes with my old harness, possibly because it was getting old, but this harness, I put it in what position I want to get in, very easy to do it, and it stays there, and I feel really confident about it. The best thing I like about it was the landing. I don't know how the landing looked on the video, but it felt so good. It felt so easy to get into that upright position, and it gave me a lot extra confidence for my landing. I was landing in quite a bit of wind today because it's very strong up there, so I kept my hand on the base bar all the way to the ground. But the actual landing itself, that upright position, felt a lot better to me for landing than any other harness with the back plate that I've ever flown. Really nice, and yeah, gave me a lot of confidence. Really like the harness, and I can't wait to fly it again. So I hope you enjoyed that video. And I'll also put a link to Skyline, who sell these harnesses, in the description down below. Thank you very much.